Are you a fellow mom looking to make a legitimate professional income around your lifestyle? If so, then I hope you consider enrolling in my new Home Bookkeeper Masterclass. This class has everything I personally used to build and scale my very own bookkeeping business from the comforts of home. Freelance is the future, and with today's cloud-based programs and technology, you have the ability to work whenever and wherever you wish. Included in the Home Bookkeeper Masterclass are all the insights on building, branding, and marketing your very own bookkeeping business, a pro advisor study guide to help you pass the optional and free QuickBooks Online certification exam, and a business resource guide full of all of my favorite products that I use at EDJ Consulting, plus a free gift just for you. To check out the Home Bookkeeper and enroll in the online masterclass, visit www.emmadon.com. Are you a fan of the Mommy Wines podcast? Well, of course you are, or you wouldn't be hearing this right now. One of the best ways to support the show you love, besides obviously tuning in every Wine Wednesday for new episodes, is shopping the Mommy Wines merch store on teespring.com. This is where you'll find all of the Mommy Wines branded goodness, mugs to hold your coffee over cardio morning Java, iPhone and Samsung cases, premium ultra soft hoodies perfect for upcoming cooler months, and of course flowy tees and tanks flattering on every mommy out there. Go shop the Mommy Wines storefront on teespring.com and make sure to use code WINEMOM for free shipping. Hey Wine Moms, and thank you for listening to this MW Network and Emmadon production. Now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, themommywines.com, and wherever else you get your favorite podcasts. For exclusive content and early access, make sure to tune in on Patreon. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Mommy Wines podcast. I am your host, as always, Emmadon. And with all of us on lockdown due to the COVID-19 epidemic, I'm sure I'm not the only one drinking my way through these trying times. My guest today is here to make all of your wine drinking dreams come true. Imagine working from home or being cooped up with a glass of wine or two or three or an entire bottle, sometimes these days. Are you picturing this? Well, now I would like you to imagine enjoying your wine without all of the negative side effects like hangovers, headaches, flushed cheeks, upset stomach, or congestion. Maybe you can't even fathom this idea. Well, my guest today, David Meadows, is here to share with us how to make our wine drinking dreams a reality. He is the founder of Pure Wine, and let's give him a warm welcome. So, I'm very curious, what inspired you to make these Pure Wine products?
Well, it was really the old adage that necessity is really the mother of invention. It really holds true for me because about 10 years ago, I stopped being able to drink red wine. I got really the classic symptoms after drinking a half a glass or a glass of a Cabernet or a Syrah or Tempranillo. I'd get these really bad headaches. For me, they were usually in the front of my head. A lot of people get migraines because red wine is one of the leading causes of migraine headaches and also nasal congestion. And so I just gave up red wine about 10 years ago and said, well, it just wasn't meant to be. And that was really at that same time, my son Derek was just graduating from college and he'd been doing some craft beer. He was doing it on our kitchen table and then on the kitchen stove, like college kids do with all of his buddies, and his craft beer were starting to give him problems. He'd wake up where he'd have a headache and then he'd have throat congestion, and he really didn't know it was particularly the IPAs and the wheat beers that he was real sensitive to. And so he said, Dad, when I get out of college, why don't we start a company to solve this problem? So that's what I'm saying. It was really necessity that both he and I started this company called Pure Wine.
I love that this is like a father-son venture here, a family business.
So what we did was quickly we had some ideas, and that's my background. I was head of research and development for some large medical device and pharmaceutical companies, and so I have over 100 patents to my name. So I kind of inventing was not only my passion but my hobby, and so we rented a lab space. I was still working in corporate America and rented some lab space at a local university. And Derek did I called him the lab monkey. And he would do all of the lab work and tried to figure out what was going on. And we read all the literature, and you're probably hear the same kind of things, that it was the sulfite preservatives. That's what everybody was telling us that was causing it. But it never did make sense to me, because white wines have 10 times as much sulfite preservatives as red wine. And yet red wine was what was giving me the problems. I could drink white wine or champagnes without any problem. And so could Derek. And so the dots just didn't connect. So we said there's something in the red wine. And looking further into the wine literature, we discovered that it's really what are called histamines. A chemical name is biogenic amines. That's the fancy name for it. But it's basically these histamine type molecules in wine that are formed naturally during the fermentation process, that when your body absorbs them, you get an allergy-like symptom. And it's just like, aha, that was literally our aha moment. And we decided that that's really what we needed to be all about. We needed to create a company that would remove the histamines and the sulfite preservatives out of all types of wine, so that people who were having problems with these wines and beer, that they could now enjoy them without any of the side effects. And it'd be basically an insurance policy for them.
Oh, fun. So I'm looking on the website now, and I'm seeing two different products. There's the wand and the wave.
Yes. So our first product was the wand, and then the wave came out a year and a half ago, and the wand came out 3 years ago.
So how do these products work? I'm looking at the pictures, and it seems simple, but there has to be something, in there that's making it remove these antihistamines.
Yes. Well, it's actually, it's the histamines. So it's not an antihistamine. It actually removes the histamine materials out of the wine. So it acts like an antihistamine, our product does, by removing the histamines. So
okay.
For the wand, it's a single use. You put it into your glass, so it's super convenient. That's what people love about it. And that's why we came out with it initially. It's on the go. You can put it in your purse. You can put it in your pocket if you're a guy. You can give it as gifts. It's great for that. And you use it in your wine. You stir it like you would a swizzle stick. We call it a Brita filter for wine. Okay. That's basically a good description. You swirl it. It's got an absorbent proprietary material in there. We have over 10 patents on our technology, and it quickly removes the histamines and the sulfites out of it, cleans up the wine, and you just throw it away. You don't have to worry about recycling it in a baggie or anything like that. It's completely good for the normal garbage for that. And so it's really convenient. And then the wave is for a whole bottle. If you wanted to have a whole bottle that you'd filter, you'd take the wave out of its box, you put it into your bottle, and as you pour the wine, it instantaneously filters the histamines and the sulfites out of that whole bottle.
Oh, awesome. Now, I've been talking with your assistant, Mackenzie, and she is sending some of these products my way. So I'm very excited to try them out. I can't wait. But I'm also seeing that you guys have been all over Food and Wine, CBS, The Today Show, BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Is kind of like the media marketing, is that the main way you get this product out there, or are you in any stores?
We're in over 3,000 locations now. We're in all Total Wine. If you look at our website and you look at where to buy it, we're in some of the leading retailers in the United States. We're even in Canada, some of the leading retailers in Canada. So we're in all Total Wine, Bevmo, Albertsons. You just go, and it depends on regionally where you are, but we're in over 3,000 locations nationwide. It's been amazing how fast it's been taken up by these retail locations.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Wine people really are love stuff like this. I am now I'm mostly a white wine drinker, but I'm working on expanding my palate.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been so interested, and I've been trying out all kinds of different things, gadgets similar to this. Some of them were total duds. Others were great. But, there's my dog, Zeppelin.
Yeah. Hello, Zeppelin.
Because it's actually nice here, and being cooped up, I was really excited when I woke up this morning and I was able to open up my patio door, just because I feel like it gives me not so much like claustrophobia
Mm-hmm.
being cooped up. So she's hearing all of the noises outside.
Warmer weather is just around the corner, so make sure to stock up on all your shorts, tees, and tanks from Zaya Active. Zaya has something for the whole family, with the always popular and growing men's collection, and even new kids and junior sizes. As always, you'll find your favorite premium leggings, with new items being made from recycled water bottles. I just picked up the purple bomber bra, and it is so soft, and I swear the quality might even be better than the original. Shop the Mommy Wines podcast event on myzaya.com/Emadan for your order number to be automatically entered into a spring raffle. For your chance to win, head over to myzaya.com/Emadan today.
Well, and what we've sort of, your question is what's been the interest level? It's been amazing, because what we're finding is that this has been a what we call a 9,000-year-old problem that we've solved. It's been staring us in the face for 9,000 years because it's part of the natural fermentation process. But what you find is that particularly fair complected people, they would be blonde hair, blue eyed, red hair, green eyed, or Asians, or Native Americans. There's just certain ethnic groups that have problems with these heavy Bordeaux styled wine that are now coming into the market. So that would be the Cabernets, the heavy cabs, the Tempranillos, the Syrah red type wines. And so you're seeing that particularly with women too. As women get near middle age, 35 and 40, they start getting these age onset allergies, and it's related to estrogen level. And so as estrogen levels decline, these allergies start cropping up. So you're having women all the time coming to us and saying, oh my gosh, I can't drink wine anymore. I've had to go from a red wine to a white wine, and now even the white wine's giving me problems. And we hear that all the time. And it is because as all of us age, we lose the ability to cleanse our food out of our diet well enough to where these histamines don't cause these side effects. When we were younger, our bodies were more robust and able to do this and sort of detox our foods. But as we get older, we can't do it as well.
That's so fascinating. I just turned 30 last year, so I didn't even know that my wine drinking would ever even be affected as I got older.
It does. And you see that also after having children. We found that these are sort of correlates that we see. And it's in the medical literature too, is that after you have children, women have children, is that their immune system changes because their enzymes in their body are affected by the pregnancies and the estrogen, progesterone levels. So what you'll see is women oftentimes after they have children, after childbirth, will have these allergy symptoms. That's happened to both of my daughters after they had children. They had these strange allergy type symptoms after they had children. And there's a physiological explanation for it that's very clear. I won't go into it now because it's pretty complicated, but it's a very well understood post-pregnancy allergy. It's a pseudo allergy that's just that your body goes through to re-equilibrate after having children. And it's the same kind of phenomena. So anyway, I say that because that's, I think, the interest level that we have is there's just millions. We estimate about 45 million people in the United States alone have this, what we call histamine sensitivity or wine intolerance, wine sensitivity. And we're just seeing the incredible interest that we have. We've already sold over 6 million of these units just in the last 3 years. So the demand has been huge. And you can tell from just the media uptake that we've had.
Yeah. So how long have you been in business?
3 years, a little over 3 years.
That's it?
That's it. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. My hat goes off to you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Literally within the first week, we were picked up by the Doctor Show. You've probably heard of them on TV. They picked us up the first week we had launched, and they did a test there in their live studio audience. It was really neat to see, and came back with rave reviews. And of course, we immediately went into back order after that. So, but hey, everybody says those are good problems to have. They're mixed blessings.
Those are definitely good problems.
But we've been picked up with a lot of media. We've been on over 60 different TV shows, and it's just been because we're solving a problem that people didn't know existed, and it's a very convenient solution for them, and it works. You can see that on our social media, that all the testimonials that we have there, and also in the larger media that you see on our website.
Absolutely. I bet the wine companies and distributions, they just love you because people are probably drinking way more wine now.
We are enabling that. That's exactly right. And so and let's face it, wine is the only, I'm very bullish on wine because wine's the only healthy alcoholic beverage. I mean that in a researchy kind of sense, because it allows you to have the antioxidants and the healthy things that give you good cardiovascular health that beer and spirits don't. I hate to say that, but spirits actually shorten your life. A lot of the spirits do. And then beer, as we all know, it just makes you fat. So,
yes, we are anti-beer around here.
So you have to really do it in moderation if you don't want to have to get a new belt size. I speak from experience on that. But for wine, especially red wine, you get I call it liquid sunshine, because you get all the antioxidants, you get all of the healthy antioxidants and tannins, and actually resveratrol. That's one of the big nutrients that you get in red wine that gives you good cardiovascular health.
Well, there you go. Everyone who shames me on social media for being a wine mom, I'm doing it for my health.
There we go. You want to live longer, live healthier. You're being smart.
I do. I am. So I'm so fascinated by these products. Do they do anything like, can they be used for good wines, cheap wines, great wines, high-end wines? Do they change the flavor or anything at all?
I'm glad you raised that, because that's always an important thing for people to understand, is that not only did we have to develop a product that would remove 95% of the histamines and the sulfites, but you have to do it to where you don't destroy the wine. So we worked with the leading analytical testing labs out of Napa to show that we did remove the histamines and the sulfites, but we also worked with the leading sommelier school in Florida. It's actually one of the leading in the United States and the world for testing the overall taste qualities of these wines. And we did this in 25 different wines throughout the world. We looked at South African wines, Australian wines, European wines, Canadian, US, and South American wines. We did, like I said, 25 of them. And because the product needed to work for all types of wine, we tested with red, rosé, whites, and champagne, and we even tested it with beer, because it works great with beer also for Derek's benefit. And so beer has a lot of histamines in it too, and depending on how it's fermented and how much filtered, you can have even more histamines in beer than you do in certain types of beer than you do in wine. So we wanted to have all of those be effectively removed by our products. So that was really important. So the bottom line of what your question was, what about the taste and the overall quality? There was no distinctive difference. And actually what we found with sommeliers is they preferred the treated wine, particularly for some wines that were bitter on the front end. They call it astringency. That astringency on that front end of a young cab, it's usually the histamines that make it bitter. So when you remove that bitterness, that puckery taste, all of a sudden the characteristics, they said, was that it was more drinkable. It was more rounded. It was smoother and more enjoyable. So that was a real positive out of that study. And these were all done masked, just like you would expect out of a wine tasting school to do that. And it was a very thorough published study for us.
Well, this is a dangerous product right here. You're making wine taste better and no hangover.
Yep. Well, it's all to be consumed in moderation, but it helps you now not have to go to beer and to whiskeys. Okay. So it's all good.
I'm learning so much here, because I always noticed after I had my son, back in the day when I was in college, I used to drink Jameson and ice.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a couple, fun mixed drinks here and there. But I was never into beer. And then as I got older, I was like, okay, I can't keep up this liquor game anymore. And then I had my son, and I thought maybe like my tolerance had just gone down, from taking a
Mm-hmm.
break from, during the pregnancy and breastfeeding and everything like that. But then after, I was cleared and I was able to, drink again, I just kind of went to wines because I really couldn't handle anything else. And just recently, it's been starting to affect me more. My cheeks will get real pink. I'll get real nasally. So I'm excited to try because I'm gonna do a little experiment. Maybe I'll put it up on a IGTV video or something.
You ought to. That's really what when we post these, we've got a really active social media campaign. And so certainly send that in to us. We'd love to post that on our postings. And we do that all the time. And we'd love to have you do that because particularly I didn't know you had children. And so you're exactly what I was saying is that particularly if you're fair complected, if you've got sort of Northern European descent, if you're English, Irish, Scandinavian at all, they have a really high frequency. We can see as many as 80 to 90% of women in that category who may be blonde or lightly brunette type complexiction. They have a real high risk of having these histamine intolerance because that's my background. I'm English and Irish and a little bit of Dutch, and our ancestors never drank these heavy Cabernet, Southern French, Mediterranean type wines. So we don't know how to handle these. And that's especially true for the Asians. The Chinese particularly, they have what they get, this Asian flush. If you have any Asian friends, you might have heard them.
Oh, I've heard about that.
And so what we've found is a huge market for that because by removing the histamines that are in these grape wines, they're able to now drink wine without getting that Asian flush. And oftentimes they almost turn light purple. It's really a strange body chemistry that goes on, and it's very embarrassing for them when that happens. So we've got a really strong audience within the Asian community with that.
That's awesome. So besides the where to buy, which is basically Vons if you're in California, World Market is one of my favorite stores from back in Cleveland. I see you're even endorsed by the Cleveland Clinic Wellness.
Yeah, they're a big partner with us. We've got a lot of medical practices who are carrying our product, particularly, in fact, they just ordered a big supply last week because they're handing them out free to their patients. I mean this in all seriousness because they're doing a lot because they, as in their health and wellness clinic, they're getting a lot of anxiety coming into their practice. And I talked with the doctor who heads that practice last week, and she was saying that she's literally handing these out to all their patients who are anxious during these times. And so we've set up a special program partnership with Cleveland Clinic to be able to provide those free to people who need them, just to have the ability to drink wine and help to relax, because wine does help you relax. It's part of the chemistry of wine that helps you have lower anxiety. So that's been a nice partnership with us. And certainly you can get it on Amazon too, Emma. Amazon's a huge channel for us. We've been in the top 200 product out of 15 million SKUs. I mean, 200 out of 15 million, that's how big we've been on Amazon. And they're a big supporter of it. And certainly you can get it on Drink Pure Wine. The best deals are on drinkpurewine.com. We get a lot of promotions, and you get the best deals for pricing, and we ship immediately. Amazon, as you probably know, is delayed. They're not shipping till like 21st or 22nd of April still. So
oh, I know. I just canceled my Prime because I'm like, I'm not going to use it. And I don't use it that often. Mostly just for the app on my TV. But yep, I know a bunch of people are canceling their Prime memberships right now just because there's nothing in stock. And if it is in stock, then you're waiting over a month
Yeah,
for
but
it.
we're shipping same day on drinkpurewine.com. And like I said, that's where you get the best deals. And we've got several discounts too. In fact, our new product just launched on April 1st, which have these real cute little wine charms. If you look at our website, you'll see those where you've got a heart-shaped wine charm, and then you just twist that off and put it on your glass. And you've got a lucky clover on there, and then a diamond, and a wine drop. I don't know if you can see those.
Oh,
See
cute.
that? And you just twist those
Yeah.
off and put them on your stem of your glass or on the rim, and that way you'll never lose track of your glass for that.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, go ahead and share with the audience where they can find you on social media.
Sure, it's always at Drink Pure Wine and hashtag Drink Pure Wine, or we're on Twitter too. So we're all on all the different channels. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So at Drink Pure Wine.
Okay, perfect. And I'll link everything in the show notes, from the website to the social medias. So if you guys are interested in drinking wine guilt-free, then definitely check out drinkpurewine.com.
So, you all have heard me talk about Real Good Foods before. If you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, you definitely should, you'll have seen Milo devouring the Real Good Foods pizza. Well, my favorite frozen food company is now launching ice cream. Real good ice cream. No icy or chalky texture like other light ice creams. It's made with fresh milk and cream, giving it that smooth, creamy goodness we all love. On a sweet note, there's only 4 grams of sugar. The new Real Good ice creams are sweetened with allulose, a naturally occurring sweetener found in things like figs and dates. This rare sugar has 1/10 of the calories of typical cane sugars, leaving this guilt-free frozen treat with a low 180 calories per serving. You can find this Real Good ice cream online at Real Good Foods and Vitamin Shop. New year, new wine. And of course, I'm talking nakedwines.com. If you haven't tasted the delicious, independently crafted wines from boutique winemakers around the world, can you even call yourself a fellow wine mom? Debatable. But don't worry, I got you, girl. Use code MOMMYWINES50 or click the link in the show notes below to receive your first 6 bottles delivered right to your door for only $34.99. That's $34.99 for 6 bottles of wine delivered to your door with code MOMMYWINES50. You're welcome. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mommy Wines Podcast. Make sure to leave a rating and review. To support the show you love, check out the exclusive branded merchandise on themommywines.com. For extra sassy, honest, and potentially controversial content, make sure to join me over on the Mommy Wines Patreon. Also, don't forget to check out the other shows on the MW Network. If you love scary stories and true crime, you'll love Tales After Dark. More shows are coming soon, so make sure to stay connected on social at Mommy Wines Podcast. And until next Wine Wednesday, mamas, parent and drink responsibly.